Just kind of reminded me that, you know, especially on days where you have recording sessions, you might want to do a little better job of making sure you're warmed up before you get to the gig. Now, there is something I will say is that, you know, as we age, it's just kind of a fact of life that as you age, you know, certain things just kind of start being not so easy anymore. It doesn't happen to everybody at the same rate, let's put it that way. And if you stick to the basics, if you don't, as my good friend Charlie Marilla said, you know, don't let yourself slip into bad habits. You can keep your level of playing up, you know, pretty much at any age.
In a world where trombone players and musicians want to know the answers to burning questions, top trombone players, even me, are here with Paul the Trombonist Nowell to answer your burning questions.
If certain things are a little bit harder for you, I think you just kind of want to not judge yourself too harshly, you know, about it. I've had several friends who have developed these conditions that made it virtually impossible for them to form an embouchure anymore, and to the point that they unfortunately had to give up playing. It's sad when that happens. You know, because, you know, something that has kind of been so crucial and so center to your identity over all these years. But I think if you look at it the right way, you know, maybe it's the universe's way of telling you, hey, you know, yeah, music is great, but you're a lot more than that. You know, there are
that
things.
Is so true.
Yeah, there's.
You know, your relationship with people, your family, your friends, all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Music is amazing, but really that other stuff is number one.
So right. So anyway, that episode just kind of it was a bit of a wake up call for me, and just made me realize that, you know, number one, you know, pay attention to what you're doing. You know, get yourself on as good of a routine as you can, but without being, you know, obsessive compulsive about it. I mean, you know, we all have lives and things that we have to do, you know, so try to find the balance, but as much as possible, yeah, do the things you need to do so that those unfortunate things don't happen. But you know, I've heard stories from other people, it's like it happens, you know, some well-known studio players from the past. I heard a story, it's like one day they got to the session and for whatever reason they just could not play.
Wow.
It's like but you know, fortunately I don't think it irreparably damaged their career, you know.
Yeah.
But more than that, I think it also kind of taught me that, you know, imagine a worst case scenario. What if you did, you know, what if something were to happen that you're just not able to play anymore, you know? And I have to confess that, you know, sometimes when, you know, certain things start happening in my playing, I kind of wonder, could it kind of be starting to happen with me? What happened to my friends, you know, who, I think you got to realize that what we do on the horn is really not a very natural thing. You know, I think when we evolved or were created, it's like that's kind of not what we had in mind, you know. But so I think it's
metal
kind of
on flesh.
Yeah,
right?
kind of understandable. Yeah, kind of understandable that, you know, maybe after a certain amount of that, you know, some people's bodies just say, hey, enough, you know. But again, you know, I do think that there are things you can do to kind of mitigate that, but it's different, you know, different for everybody.
Yeah.
You know? So again, you know, if worse comes to worse, if it was to happen to me, I would have to realize that, number one, there is more to life than what I do as a trombone player, and you know, maybe I'll work on becoming the next great trailer guy.
Absolutely.
Or
you can always write too.
yes, or write, or Anything else? I remember something Jim Self told me years and years and years ago when we were on Don Ellis's band together. He said, you know, if something were to happen to where I couldn't play tuba anymore, I'd still find a way to be a musician or involved with music somehow. It's like I'd try to learn how to play piano or, you know, bass or whatever. So,
There are ways.
yeah, it's like, yeah, if the old cliche, you know, if a door closes, another one opens. I mean, again, I think that's true a lot of the times. You know, sometimes it's not quite as cut and dry, but I think you can still agree that if a door closes, look for other opportunities.
Absolutely.
Look and see what's out there.
Great ways. Okay.
Lots of types of cereal. What type of cereal would you like to eat together? There's lots of cereal, many types of cereal. What type of cereal is your favorite one to eat? We got Frosted Flakes in Captain Crunch, Lucky Charms, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Honey Nut Cheerios and Fruit Loops. Captain Crunch with crunch berries, Apple Jacks, Rice Krispies, Cocoa Puffs, Frosted Mini Wheats with a honeycomb, Corn Pops, Golden Grams, Captain Crunch with peanut butter. Fruity Pebbles and a Raisin Bran, Honey Bunches of Oats in a Trix Land, Cheerios, Cookie Crisp, Reese's Puffs.